would you like to improve your health and keep your family safe? You're listening to the Healthy Home Hacks Podcast, where we firmly believe enjoying optimal health shouldn't be a luxury. Healthy Home Authorities and husband and wife team Ron and Lisa will help you create a home environment that will level up your health. It's time to hear from the experts. Listen in on honest conversations and gain the best tips and advice. If you're ready to dive in and improve your well-being and increase your energy, you're in the right place. All right, here are your hosts, bowel biologists, authors, media darlings, vicarious vegans, and avocado aficionados, Ron and Lisa Barris.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. I'm Ron.
And I'm Lisa. And wow, do we have an incredible guest for you today?
Yes, our guest is someone who's mastered the art of living two extraordinary lives and making them work together in perfect harmony.
She's a powerhouse consultant.
But here's where it gets personal for us.
Ron and I enjoyed an epic weekend at Trinity Home Lake Arrowhead in the San Bernardino Mountains, an almost 5,000 square feet of pure luxury.
Okay, let me paint a picture for you. Exquisite design, a home theater, a chef's kitchen, sweeping lake views, a cedar hot tub, and a short walk to the village. We hosted a masquerade murder mystery dinner party with our closest friends for Halloween in the Pines.
New memories, endless laughter, fresh mountain air, and relaxation by multiple fire pits. We loved it so much, we had to bring the owner on to share more with you guys and how you can save on a booking. So stay tuned till the end.
Yes, but first, let's talk about why places like this matter right now. Stress and anxiety levels in America are at crisis levels, linked to heart disease, weakened immunity, and more.
What Deanna Grady understands is that rest isn't luxury, it's essential medicine. Mountain environments like Lake Arrowhead offer incredible health benefits through grounding, negative ions, and true unplugging.
Her design aesthetic is impeccable. She's created Trinity Home Lake Arrowhead, Trinity A-Frame, and Trinity Interior Design, all built on the philosophy that everyone deserves a place to restore, relax, and retreat.
And she's curated an online store at trinityhomela.com/shop with luxury candles that are non-toxic and phthalate-free, market tote bags, craft cocktail mixes. Guys, everything that makes life feel more intentional.
And if this isn't enough, she's also a certified coach, LinkedIn learning instructor, and published author. Without further ado, welcome to the show, Deanna. Yes.
Wow, what an intro. Thank you so much, Ron and Lisa. It's such an honor to be here with you. I've followed your work for years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You both educate, empower, and inspire people to create healthier homes is something I deeply respect. So having you experience Trinity Home firsthand and now getting a chance to talk about it together feels incredibly special to me. So thank you for...
Oh, well, thank you. We're not used to getting compliments at the top of the show from our guests like that. So
Right.
no, it's wonderful. We are very excited to have you. You guys are going to love this show because it's all about health and good design. It's two of my favorite things. So, Deanna, you come from a strong background in corporate America, which can be very linear and require a lot of left brain skills. But you have a strong passion and talent for creating beautiful spaces. Have you always had this? And how did you start designing these beautiful vacation mountain homes?
Wow. So I've designed for years. I have been working with friends. I've done a few NBA players. I've done some...
Ooh, can you name drop?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I won't name drop. Well, one of them I'll name drop. So, and I just finished this project with my friend. We have a joint venture called JBaz. And so Trinity Home Interior Design, it's our studio, and JBaz, we get together and do these wonderful projects. So we just did Anderson Paak. So if anyone knows Soul Sonic, there's Anderson Paak, who's also in Soul Sonic with some really great taste, and he loves these colors and wild things, which are really the opposite of me. I'm a black and white girl, as you can see, and probably what I'm wearing in behind me.
I'm matching your color story, Deanna. And if you saw my house, I got the little Hermes pillow covers too, you know?
Must. It's a must. And even my dogs match my house. People always laugh. They're like, your dog match you. Yes, that is a criteria. But I just finished doing a really whimsical yet beautiful tree. So just doing it for friends, I found that it was a stress relief for me. Me and my sister have these fun projects we do together. We have a high creative side, and we feel like that sort of energy balances the day to day. And so, being in corporate America, I just spent the last 10 years leading public sector at LinkedIn. And so, I really needed something to relieve that stress and just to think differently. So, I started just doing that, shopping for others, really, and helping to make their spaces beautiful. And as such, I found that it was just this nice, relaxing feeling for me. And to see it all come together, I thought this is the perfect way to, one, give gifts to people. You create these really amazing environments where you can naturally relax. And then the other is just doing something that's fun with partners, with friends. And the little J-Baz that we do, I was lucky enough to latch onto my friend Camille, and together we've done some really cool spaces.
That is amazing. Wow. Yeah, it's really, really true that you need that balance. I think in society today, we have a lot of people that are married to their jobs. It's work, work, work. And then, when you get home, it's a lot of other work, right? It's laundry and grocery shopping and cooking and cleaning and dropping kids off. And so if you have a life where you aren't getting that creative outlet, I think a lot of depression and a lot of anxiety can start, right? And then people don't realize, so then they take medicine for that and not realizing like their life is really out of balance. And that is that yin yang. It's just so important in our livelihood to feel happy, because you see a lot of people that don't have a lot of joy. They don't just have a real happy smile because it's just go, 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 right? We've lost touch, and then technology doesn't really help because then we're all glued to that. So yeah, it's such a beautiful story and how you got into that. That's really neat.
So, Dan, I'm curious, are you naturally gifted or have you taken some schooling for design or both?
I wish I could say naturally gifted. I haven't taken any school design. I've just hung out with people who have a flair. And most recently, I just stumbled and had a dinner with a very famous designer. And I was showing him my work, and he was like, "No, you are a designer. You need to start doing that." And because I could say, "Oh, this is just fun," and he said, "No, you're a designer." And him and his husband have a show where his husband is doing, where he's dressing celebrities. So he's a really famous stylist, and then he does interior design, and together they're this power duo. And it wasn't until he had said to me, "You are a designer," that I said, I'm going to start to publish my website and do those of just being overly humble. So now I'm doing a few Airbnbs. I'm doing a really great place in Northern California where we're doing a whole amphitheater plus these yurts and different ancient houses. So it's a pretty big project. I'm excited about it. But all of this really is where I didn't go to school for it. I just found it. It's something that I love. We clothing line, it comes a little bit natural in our family. As an artist, my mom was an engineer, but she also played the saxophone, the oboe, the flute. It's oboe. I played the flute and piccolo. So we just kind of feel like it keeps us well rounded and then hopefully interesting.
Oh, wow. I love the saxophone. I think that's one of the beautiful sounding instruments. Yeah. Yeah. You came from the music and you had because it's all part of that creative bubble we were talking about. That is,
When is that project going to be done? You use this not to put pressure
Oh my
on
gosh.
you, but
So that one looks like the end of 2026, maybe
it's a big.
2027.
So it's a commercial space. It's not a residential.
It'll be a commercial space. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's for you.
It'll be pretty. It's not mine. I wish I could say that, but a wonderful lady who had this brilliant idea reached out to me. I had an event in my house, and I'm Christian, so we had a big Christian event. And she said, "I love your place. Do you do this for a living?" And once again, I was like, "Well, I dabble." So she said, I would love to have your hands in this project. And so I said yes to it. So it's just, some of the things that I just love from traveling the world too. I was in Greece and I went to this really great restaurant and they had these beautiful tents and these swaying sort of chandeliers. Let me take a picture of that. That's something I might want in the future. Pinning up the things that I like. And when the moment hits, it's like, great, I have an idea. And you start to see what works for the space.
Wow, that's awesome. And I love how you said that designer gave you that nudge because I think I told you I wrote a children's book and Ron and I published another book. But when I was writing the children's book, I was so insecure because I had never written anything professionally at that time. And I had this editor online and she said, Lisa, I think you're going to be a really great children's writer, or you could be, or you have the potential. And I was like, what? Oh my God, I don't even know this lady. I don't even know if she's really talented, but I'm like, somebody said that, and then from there, it just gave me this confidence. And then since then, we've published our own book and I've written hundreds and hundreds of articles now, but sometimes it's just that person telling you because we can be insecure and we're our own worst critics. So yeah.
Now, if you were to ask me about the day to day, right, I would be very, very confident. This is what I did. I worked for different software companies. I'm in leadership. I'm a coach. All of those things you feel super secure about. But when it comes to the creative, I go, because it's in the eye of the beholder too. Some might love the style and others prefer something else. And so I think being timid around that kept me from taking bigger projects. And, so now I'm saying yes this was the year of saying yes to everything.
Oh, the year of yes. Ooh, I might steal that next year.
Works, right? I was asked hey, will you come and consult? And I made a decision to leave the day job, which was very, very comfortable. But, corporate America can have its toxicity. And we were talking about earlier about people getting depressed and having anxiety. I was in such a hamster wheel of toxicity that I honestly didn't even realize that I had insomnia. I was depressed, couldn't be depressed. And on top of that, anxiety. I just thought that anxiety was my professional edge. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can. Because we both come from corporate America and it's your new normal, right? I mean, you don't know that there's a different way because that's just how it is. And everybody else is the same way. And I had to travel a lot on my old job. And that was so taxing. My mom would always go, oh, did you go see a play when you were in New York? I'm like, no, I'm working. Did you go? No, I barely saw anything besides the hotel and the conference room.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And so, then it also taught me, I was such a great coach for others and developing the next generation of leaders and doing really well by my team. But I would take all of that. I was the buffer in between. And so that sort of stress is what drove me to say, I need another place. During the pandemic, naturally everyone's working from home. And I thought, I've got to get out of these four walls. And that's when, it was a hard decision to say, look, I have to set a different pace and try a different area. And that led me, in Lake Arrowhead.
No, okay, that's cool. One of our questions.
No, but first I wanted to ask really, really quick though. So what was it like navigating work? So these projects that you're working on, are you sharing these with coworkers or are you keeping it close to your chest before things are rolled out? What was it like? Because sometimes it's hard to share your creative endeavors with the workplace because they want you just to work. How'd you navigate that?
Well, I was already working 12, 14, 16 hours a day. Never took a vacation without being on or doing a meeting or something. So there was never a question of me not working to this day. And I can attest to that is one thing that LinkedIn really stands on is that you can bring your true authentic self. I exude that creativity in my clothing and my jewelry and my hair and my nails and the way that I speak. So those things I couldn't even hide if I tried. And a lot of times, with our candle line, that was a gift for someone or finishing a really cool project. And we're saying, what's the rose and the thorn of the week? And, I'll share those sorts of things or how I ended up on tour with somebody, or behind stage or something. You just share those things. And so I didn't hide it, which is good. So I really feel like if you can't bring your true authentic self, then it's no longer the place to be. I'm not saying that it's still that way. When I decided to depart for various reasons, and I'll just say for me, it was no longer a match. And if I can't change the environment or the environment aligns with my morals, the way that I think, the way that I work, then it's time to make those hard decisions. And so, as such, I've got other things to do. So I want to do things that are healthy and inspiring and connected.
Yeah, it's still your soul. And so great. I think it's amazing. And, you going back to that, like the toxicity of the workplace or the grind, I should say, is, you have a lot of people who are like clean bill of health. And then one day they get this diagnosis and they're like, how did that happen? Well, our whole entire podcast will tell you how it happened. It's usually that kind of person that doesn't have the symptoms until boom, because they're just like you said, you get used to, thriving on your coffee every day and, the go, energy and then boom. So this is a whisper for anybody listening. Like it's not worth it. It's not a trade-off. You have to find that balance. And if you can't, like Deanna said, you have to figure it out. You have to figure out how to find that. It will take its toll in one way or another. Okay, so going back to your gorgeous houses, of course, we stayed at one. I call it the big house. I don't know if you call it that, but no, you call it the big house? Yeah. And by the way, you guys, if you've never been to Lake Arrowhead, is absolutely charming and the most cute mountain town, not too far from Southern California. Well, it is in Southern California. And your house, like when you drive down that main road, it stands out. Like it is a showstopper. Not even getting into the interior, which is amazing, but it stands out. When our friends were meeting us, they're like, okay, how will I know? I'm like, you won't miss it. And I sent pictures on the exterior. I'm like, you won't miss it. You took a lot of care in not only the inside, but the outside too. And just the attention to detail is, I think, what makes your house stand out against anybody's. Because we scoped a lot of houses on Airbnb and like, yeah, maybe this one's big and maybe this one has a lot of beds and maybe this one has the game room, and that kind of thing. But it's the attention to detail that made our stay so incredible. And it's like from the cozy throws to the care that you put into the linens to the, you thought of robes and slippers and even your glassware. Like when we were getting ready for the dinner, I was like, where does she get all this? Like the glassware and everything was just so thought through. I'm sure you hear this a lot, but I wanted to tell you that because that really just blew us all away.
Yeah, and Deanna, we have a secret too. So Lisa's been a secret admirer of your places for a long time too, for at least a couple of years prior to the moment of staying there.
We only discovered Lake Arrowhead a couple of years ago, and I saw your house, obviously, because it stands out. And I said, oh, I want to stay there sometime. And we had rented a really cute place not too far away. And then it happened. It was kind of really neat how it happened because we didn't really kind of know we were going to stay this year and we were going to do like Friends and we didn't know we were going to do a murder mystery. It just all kind of lined up. So I just know like our readers are just going to oogle over it when they go to your website and check it out. But what is a compliment that you receive the most from guests who stay at either of your properties?
I often hear you've thought of everything.
Oh, okay. It's true, right?
Yeah, I often hear that. That's first and foremost. I'm going to tell you two funny stories before because it connects to what you were saying. So the house is this black house, and it was the first black house on the mountain. And it was on the cover of the newspaper. People were so upset that I was painting this house black with these woods.
Are you serious? I didn't know.
Literally like a big deal. And they captured it with the garage door open. But if you read the article, it talks about how black actually is better for the forest. If you're on the boat or if you're on the lake, when you look at the forest, the black blends in. The house that's up and to the side of me stands out like a sore thumb. It's a white house. So you don't get that forest feel. Plus, from energy perspective, it turns out to be better. Now there's so many black houses up and down from Crestline all the way to Big Bear and all throughout Lake Arrowhead. But interestingly enough, my neighbor across the street from what we call the A-Frame, the smaller house, it's about a mile away, said when I first met her, she said, oh my gosh, you own that house? She's like, I tell you, I told my husband, Ron, that one day I'm going in that house. That day is today. We're going to take you on a fun tour because it has gotten a lot. It was in New York Times It's been in,
Wow, really? That's
now.
incredible.
Yes.
The
And
big house. The big house
the
we're
big
talking.
house.
Okay.
Yeah. It was in the home tour. And I had a big black resin cow in front of it and some sheep. And because you have to do something different for those sorts of things. Well, everyone's like the house with the cow. And then it's been Voyage LA. It's been in a Mazda ramen noodle, I think Old Navy, lots of
Commercials for those?
yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
they're like commercials for Instagram and things like that tied to influencers. A lot of influencers on a really cool podcast. A producer did it, and the gal who was the director, writer, and producer of this really cool movie. I can't think of the name of it right now. She was on the podcast as well, and they did it live from the house, which was really cool. So I've been blessed to get some press coverage. And so I felt like if I'm going to be there and it's my retreat, what are the things that I need? I want for nothing when I go there. If I'm cold, I want extra blankets. If I want to make popcorn, I want a popcorn machine. If I'm going to do like a tea with the girls, we have a lot of, all the girls go up. And I said, well, if you're all going up, we're going to do social media pictures too. Then we have lots of glasses and champagne. And I was at home and I have one of the masks that has the red lights. I'm still trying to decide if that's good. I'll ask you after.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so I had that, and someone asked me, well, will you keep one here for the guests? And I said, yeah. So I put up a poll, asked guests if they wanted one, and I just purchased one and left it at the house. So there's things like pizza ovens
I
and
missed it. I gotta use
that
the
people,
there.
can ask for. I have a massage table there, and when I'm there, I have a massage therapist come, and oftentimes we want to do multiple people. So she'll bring hers, and then I have
Ooh.
mine. And so we can do multiple people at the same time. I look at it not as an Airbnb. I look at it as a true retreat. Really, it's the antidote for burnout. It's the emotional
You
reset.
feel that as soon as you walk in. As soon as you walk in this space, right? Around the first, we arrived, and we walked in and we went, it just like, you can feel that stress through your body.
I'm
I mean,
really praying for that.
you're looking out this view, which is absolutely incredible. The view out the tall floor to ceiling, windows and the A-frame that look over the lake, which is not as common with a lot of the Airbnbs. It's rare to find that lake with all the other things and plenty of parking, like just so many check boxes. I did feel that way when we left. I thought there's not one thing.
I mean, it's gorgeous in pictures. In person, it just takes your breath away because, like,
you need to do a Hallmark movie there because how cute would it be to?
What I want.
Do you? Yeah, because we'll have
Hallmark.
to talk to our producer. He's got some connections. Because the village would be really cute. They always pick these cute little towns to film the movie there and then have your house as like where they stay. That would be great. But the house, like, it lends itself to bachelorette parties, even a honeymoon, a family getaway of friends like we did. Like, it could be anything. It really lends itself to all that because there's so much space that everyone feels spread out. Everybody feels like they have their own privacy. But then you come together in these big areas and then you're not annoyed with each other because you've had so much privacy.
Yeah. And what you don't know and what you didn't see while you were there, that house actually has a mother-in-law unit. So it has a full little apartment that has a kitchen, a bathroom, a living room, and a bedroom and a dining room. And it's attached to the house. We keep that sort of separate. So that way, I'm always worried about snowstorms. If there's a snowstorm, I don't want to do any driving. And so have a place to stay.
Oh, how nice. Oh, so there's nobody rents it permanently.
No, now my sister would have a conniption. That's her space. And she's like, no, please don't ever rent it. I said, no, it's completely separate.
Oh, how nice. Yeah, because the snowstorms up there can get
Yeah. I mean, not that
crazy.
they happen a lot, but we get up there and say, oh, I'm not ready to go home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
right.
said that. I could that Deanna on Sunday. I was like,
And then we had to go.
we had to go. That's such a great idea because actually the first time we ever went to Lake Arrowhead, which was only a couple of years ago, that was right before that major storm came where they had to close the roads coming in and out. I think only residents were allowed on that road, right? It was a crazy storm. Yeah.
We call that Snowmageddon. And my sister was actually up there. It was like 2 or 3 weeks and that's where it hasn't happened for like 74 years where we had If you look at the height of a slider, there was snow all the way up to the top.
Oh,
It was
Oh,
wild.
gosh.
And here I was, what we call down the hill, because down the mountain at my primary residence. And I'm just looking at, FaceTiming with my sister and looking at the snow. And I thought, oh my gosh, I can literally get in the pool down here.
isn't that crazy?
Get
Yeah.
4 seasons, which is
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, you
That's
can be very different. Yeah.
So,
Oh,
Deanna,
we went a Halloween weekend and the temperature, God, we hit like a
oh, it's
beautiful, it's like
perfect.
75 the whole weekend. So it was, and then I think it snowed the weekend after.
It snowed the weekend after, and it wasn't a lot of snow. Usually snow is January, February, March, April. We're lucky to extend it. I find that October is like freakishly warm, so I don't even put my boat away until December because there's
Really?
some
Okay.
boat days. This year we pulled it out early just because I had people there that could help me pull it out, but normally I don't. And we can even put it back in the water.
You could probably go in this weekend, right? At the lake. It's probably nice this weekend. Yeah. It's a gorgeous because I'm like, I love the Christmas. I love the snowy vibe, the mountain. But I said to Ron, wow, I didn't realize how gorgeous Lake Arrowhead is in the fall because you've got all the leaves and right. It's just really beautiful.
It
Especially
is
for us
stunning.
Californians, we don't get the four seasons. So it's nice.
Great segue. So, Deanna, what drew you to Lake Arrowhead and made you want to set up a vacation home and roots there?
Yeah. So as I mentioned during the pandemic, I came across an old photo, and it was really one of the happiest times in my childhood. And my mother was alive, and she used to take us up there to watch a friend, Mika, skate. And she was doing competitions, and in Blue Jay was this beautiful skating rink. And there was a photo of me at 16 standing on a dock. And I looked at it, told my sister, I said, let's go up for your birthday and mom's birthday to, remember her. So we did that. And funny enough, it was during January. And I said, this is it. I want a house up here. I want to be able to completely relax. This is the place to go. It's an hour and a half outside of Los Angeles. From door to door to my house, it's 2 hours.
Yeah. It's real quick.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it's calm. There, you can deeply connect to nature. My sister's a big hiker. We like to do off-roading. I got my skipper's license now. Or captain's license, and now
Oh,
I'm
wow.
boat
That's
licensed.
impressive.
I'm going to
Wow.
tour these things I've never done. I've been on everybody else's boats, but not my own. And so I said, well, let me find a little house, a little cabin. Something tiny.
A little 5,000 square foot house.
Yeah. Well, the funny part was that because it was during the pandemic, everyone else had that same idea. And so it was this steep competition. I just kept losing out. People would do, I'll pay $100,000 over. I'll pay $10,000. It was wild. And so my little budget that was like, oh, maybe 400, maybe 300, maybe 500 kept climbing and climbing. And my real estate agent, we just kept losing. And she had this as one of her houses that she was selling. A gal that her company is called Custom Nest had purchased it, and they were doing renovations on it. So I got it almost towards the end of renovations where I could say, I want these colors, this.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. And so I said, well, can I look at that? Because I want to see the ceilings, because they had already shot the ceilings with what we call walnut blasting. This is how you get all of that old, yucky, brown 70s off walls. So it's a sanding, and then walnut blasting gives it this beautiful color. So I went, and I was on the 3rd story, and I was looking out, because the house was 4 stories. I was looking out at the lake, because you can see from, it's called a prow. So it's actually 2 A-frames, 2 points, versus the A-frame has 1 point.
Oh, gotcha.
And I was looking out, and I really felt deeply, this is the place. So she said, is this in your budget? I said, I don't know.
Who cares?
But who cares? Let's just see what happens. So I checked with my CPA and money manager, and I said, can I afford this place? And she said, yeah, you can do it. So I bought it, and things went smoothly. But every other house I looked at just would not close. We were in escrow on 2 of them. They fell out. It was horrible. And then this one was as smooth as pie. So I really believe the house chooses you, to be honest, and things line up. And the fact that it had the mother-in-law unit was originally going to just rent the mother-in-law unit. And I said, no way. People want to stretch out. They want to bring family. They want to have get-togethers and celebrations and create memories. And so I quickly figured out like it's going to be more than me. This is kind of like, I don't know, my tithe or whatever, because I do a lot for church and I have different churches go up and they'll have retreats and things like that.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's very nice.
So I love doing that. And that's originally was the plan. If I'm not there, then I can tithe it. And then people were saying, you got to rent it. You're crazy. And I said, maybe I will. Gives me an opportunity to create moments for people where they, like I said, they could relax, reconnect, make these family memories that truly last a lifetime.
Really, truly. Yeah. Yeah. I love that you said how, when you go with the flow, I believe in that. Like God is guiding you toward something and you fight it, you're not going to end up with the result that is good. It's going to end up, the more you kind of surrender to that and have faith, right? Instead of getting stressed when things don't go your way. We tend to get stressed and angry and, oh, why did that work out? But when you switch that and go, you know what, that wasn't meant for me right now. Or what's that saying? The answer is either yes, not right now, or I have something better for you.
And he had
I have
something better.
Yeah,
He
something
sure
better. And
did.
isn't life better? It's so much better when you kind of go with that flow and then just trust it. Because I do that now and I'm a lot calmer. I'm a type A, or I kind of used to be more, but now I'm really not. I'm like, okay, well, that wasn't meant to be, a plan falls through. You're like, okay, I trust that something better is coming. That wasn't meant for me right now. And that's what it feels like with your house. Yeah.
It was an absolute faith walk. In fact, we joke now because there was one house that I really did love and it fell through. And I literally had tears. I'm like, this is just not working. I wonder if this isn't the plan for me. So I talked earlier when we were offline about Jabez in the Bible and expanding the territory. And one of my favorite scriptures is Jeremiah 29:11, just because it always speaks to me at the right time. And for he has plans for you, not to hurt you or harm you. And so when I was standing on that fourth floor, I said, oh my gosh, he said to me, because I feel like the Lord does talk to me, there'll be more than one, there'll be three. And so Trinity is actually two, and then the A-frame is the third, right? So that's,
Oh, interesting.
unless he meant
Wow.
in each house, and then I'm moving out by you guys, but I don't know.
Yes.
We'll see.
Is that your plan? Yes.
We'll see.
Orange County is calling. I
It's
know.
stalling, it's stalling.
We love Orange County. We do. We really love it. It's calm compared to LA. Like you're at least in like over the hill and you're in that nice area. But, LA and the surrounding areas can be so stressful with driving. Yeah, the traffic. And Orange County, it's like a little bubble. And where we are, we don't hardly ever get on the freeway. So it's not that day-to-day stress like you get in like really congested area. So it's getting more congested, but it's still beautiful.
Yeah, because everyone lives in Orange County and they're talking about it. So now everybody wants to live in Orange
I know. I'm like, shh, don't the secret.
County.
Next time you come, though, we should do a hike. Ron and I have some really beautiful hikes that, coastal hikes, ocean hikes that you would like for sure. We pretty much talked about why visiting the mountains is so important for people who lead busy lives and just that sort of decompression that you feel. Actually, you start to feel it as you drive up the mountain because you're looking at the views, right? The sweeping views are breathtaking. They're just the valley and that Mexican restaurant that's there when you first enter and it overlooks we still haven't gone. Every time we go, I go, Ron, we got to go there next time. I said,
Hortensias, and you really sit on the cliff. So you feel like you're in the sky.
you're in the sky. Exactly. So you do feel very calm. What is your favorite part of each of your homes? Do you have a favorite part? That's a tough question.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough question. Well, let me take a step back and talk about the kind of my intentions around these houses. Really was thinking more of well-being. And so I chose a lot of natural textures, soft grounding colors. I did a lot of organic elements and lower visual stress. For me, I'm very visual is like my thing and I'll get oversensoried. And so I try to keep it a little mellow. And then, of course, remove like heavy chemical materials and have more clean scents and clean air and bring the outdoors in where possible. And so I think with Trinity, the bigger house, I think my favorite thing about that house is just the living room and just watching the boats go by. It's so funny. I'll be sitting there having my tea and I'll see the Queen, which is a tour that you can take.
Oh, yeah, we did that. Oh, yeah, you got to go on the Queen if you go to Lake Arrowhead.
So fun. If you could bring food, you can bring wine and cheese. People don't realize
Oh,
that.
Oh,
You
I
can
did
bring-
not. What a
Yeah,
good
you can bring-
tip. Yes.
And so just, I'm like, there goes the queen. So I have some fun things on social media where I'm like chasing the queen because I feel like it's always following the queen. So I would say that living room there and the ceilings too, that was a big thing. I wanted to make sure that I had these very natural, modern, but I wanted to keep it light and bright and airy. So even window treatments are sort of see-through. You
I
can't
noticed that.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's because I feel like you should be able, if you're going to have the shades down, which I didn't even want to buy shades for the house, but I know that sometimes people can't sleep unless there is a shade. So I did fun things like remote controls for them. But when
Oh, yes. We had to text you and go, how do we work this?
Whole time
Under, I don't
I was looking
know.
for a charger for the controller, but the charger was actually the shade. I was like, this is not plug into the controller.
It's in the shade, yeah. But I don't even close them when I'm there, honestly.
Because it's very private. I mean, nobody can see in.
Yeah, though they
Yeah.
can't see in. If you're on the deck and someone yells Trinity, because people know us, then better got it on the big deck. I think for the A-frame, I did that one a little bit more masculine. To tell you the truth, I wanted to try to do something opposite. It does follow sort of this color palette that I'm really known for. I specialize in natural colors, black and white, that sort of thing. And so I did that one where it's a little bit more dark and moody, but it's still bright, but wise and color palette wise. So even the pool table has a black top, and that took me forever to find a pool table.
Yeah, it's stunning. I've seen the pictures. Yeah, it's really stunning too.
Thank you. I think my favorite spot there is there's a small chaise that sits under the steps. So that house, because it's an A-frame, has a loft, and the loft bedroom is open, even though it has a bathroom. You can't see if you're downstairs. But when you wake up, you're right. It feels like you're in a nest in that house. It's nothing but trees, and you have peekaboo of the lake there.
Right. Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, there's peekaboo views, especially in the winter. They both open up in the winter. So I love the loft, but just underneath there is a chaise lounge that I put just for reading. And honestly, I can spend hours there with a book. I put a facial mask on and sit there. And then people love those swings at the house.
The
I have swing-
swings. Oh, they're so
Yeah.
yeah. There's just so much to see. I felt like I was looking at every little corner and detail the whole time, just really enjoying it, enjoying the thought that you put in. Yeah, because you don't have to do that. You could be like, I'm going to have an Airbnb and I'm just going to throw in the pool table and the Miss Pac-Man and throw in some inexpensive couch, right? That looks good on a picture. But even we were talking about that. Like we all loved our movie night. We had a movie night on Halloween. I got the girls matching pajamas. We all,
I love that.
yeah, it was so fun. We got the popcorn maker going, and everybody loved that moment because your couch is so comfortable, so cozy. Everybody just curled up with their blankets, and we had the popcorn. I made us watch a not scary movie. I don't like scary movies. We watched Nightmare Before Christmas, so it's like an animation. But yeah, that was one of our favorite moments for sure of the whole time. But those little details are what makes the trip because you remember that. You remember I was so comfortable and I could stretch out and relax. And you feel like it's your home while you're there, right? You don't feel like it's a rental. You're renting it. So yeah.
I love the game room. I love the pool table, but I like the Miss Pac-Man machine or the multi-purpose
Oh,
machine.
yes. The guys had a.
And the guitar was out there. The whole thing was just fun. And obviously, I like the popcorn too. That popcorn maker was solid. I'm curious, Dana, what is your source of inspiration when designing these or your celebrity client houses?
So for celebrity client houses, it really depends on what they're looking for. And I try to match their aesthetic. So the one I just recently did, he just loves these really wild and crazy themes. Sorry, I forgot to put myself on mute, and I have a friend pause for 1 second. So because
Hold
she'll
on,
be
editor.
flying in. Sorry.
Oh, no problem.
And so I bet you she's saying I'm at the airport,
Oh, okay.
and I forgot to mute my phone.
You're like, take an Uber. I'm not going to LAX.
Oh, she's renting a car. So she just keeps me on. I'm renting a car. Okay, so now we're back. So for the celebrity houses, it really, celebrities or friends or family. I've been hired by a ton of different people, and a lot of Airbnbs ask me to come in and curate and design for them. But it really is up to them. What's their aesthetic? What do they like? Where is the place at? And so those things really come into play. I store a lot of photos and snapshots of things that I love. In fact, I'm going to be renovating an Airstream just because I've always wanted an Airstream.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to renovate one from scratch as a challenge.
How fun.
Just renovating the A-frame, and I feel like I should keep going and do something different. But each house really kind of calls for its own. So simplicity, I always try to bring in nature. I try to connect to something that's calming and there's a softness to it. Even if someone's house that wants a lot of bright colors and competing fabrics and competing prints, there still has to be cohesiveness.
Yeah. You don't
So
want to come in and just be like, "Ugh."
Right,
Right. Yeah.
right. So I really work from, the environment and what sort of inspires me. I believe there always should be some sort of wood texture, natural fabrics. I believe plants should be involved somewhere, somehow. And
Those are
then
great tips. Yeah. Those are really good
whatever's
tips.
natural to the area too, because you don't want to have, well, Liberace had a house in Lake Arrowhead and it looked nothing like Lake Arrowhead. But again, that's, his aesthetic, but it certainly went for his property. So I just follow my clients' leads, but I'll share what I've been dreaming about and, the things that I think are beautiful and give you a connection and emotional balance. I'll definitely bring that into play.
And livable. You don't want to, I think of Vegas when I think of these bright colors and these like very high contrasting, just busyness like your client might like. But even you'll see like really nice hotels in Vegas. They do it really classy. They'll make it really showstopper. A lot of like chrome finishes and gold and things and bright colors, but they'll do it where it's calming still, right? Otherwise you wouldn't be able to sleep, right? You'd just be wired. I love that. That is really neat. And it's pretty incredible that you can design that way because a lot of interior designers have a style and that's their style. Like, you see that so much. I would say even like the Studio McGee people, like it's all the same color scheme and all of that. So it's neat that you can actually pivot to do.
I think it's important too, because, you have different moods and different parts of your personality, right? So what stands out the most when you think about how you operate under stress, it's different at home than it is at work. You think about the things that you gravitate to, and you want something that has longevity. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with buying a $15,000 couch and it's out of style,
Right.
personally. And so I always say invest in quality. People thought I was crazy when I put restoration hardware in the house and some of the higher end furniture. And I said,
Well, we were crazy happy you did. That was beautiful.
no,
That
and
breakfast table,
some
right? The
people.
dining table.
And so the reason I say invest in quality because it doesn't go out in another season and it certainly doesn't break or lose its, sheen or texture. And I went to an Airbnb. We happened to be in the north at another lake. I won't say which one. And I was just doing some research, right? What else is out there and do we want to expand? And we stayed in an Airbnb and God bless them, but there was not one toss pillow. So when you're sitting on the couch, you
Oh no.
island almost.
Yeah.
Bedrooms, there were no duvets, no comforters. It was really like a blanket. And this was a higher end.
Really?
Because I tried to get something, close to the price of buying. And there was one extra blanket in the entire house.
Wow.
Didn't do coffee or tea service.
Oh, wow.
It was just really, really interesting. I have dog bowls because I'm a dog owner. So I have
Yes,
no
you
dog
do.
bowl there.
Yeah, you think of everything and even the baby stuff I saw, the playpen, the high chair, all of that. It's the thoughtfulness and it shows. And that's why your home is so stunning and so popular. And you're in the mountains, you're chilly. You want to curl up on that couch and you want to grab your pillow and your blanket. You want to be like, oh, it's a beautiful couch, but I can't move.
I mean, I just follow what people want. They want simplicity instead of clutter. Now, I have to sometimes pull myself back. Like, I love this candle. I'm going to bring it there. Or, nature instead of noise. That's another kind of.
Ooh, I love that. And the other thing, speaking on investing in those quality pieces, it's so good for the planet and the environment too, because like you said, when you buy something really quality, you're not going to be disposing it and repurchasing and disposing and repurchasing. So it's good, it's got that cycle and it always looks good. I think quality pieces just, they're timeless. Like you said, they're not going to look
I have
like
a
IKEA
19
junky.
I have a 1960-something room chair that was in my primary residence, and the room called for a chair, and I kept getting different chairs, and I said, I just don't like it. Just don't like any of them. So I put the loom chair there and everyone thought I was crazy. And I said, no, it fits the room perfectly. But, that's vintage. So you have to have a little bit, some vintage books, things like that.
Yeah. Tells a story. Yeah. How big is the A-frame?
The A-frame is 2,125.
Okay. So
And
half, right?
Yeah, this one is, if we exclude the apartment, it's 4,333. When we were there, we just opened the apartment door and everything is
Oh,
included.
nice.
So
Okay.
it's, you can, when we have big parties there, so technically it could, the bigger house, Trinity Home, can sleep 16 people technically with fold out couches, the apartment, all of
Oh,
those.
wow. So
Or,
for a retreat, if somebody did want to retreat, would
yeah,
you allow?
we're thinking about that. We won't tell my sister, but we're definitely
Don't tell her. Get her not listen to this episode.
and we're in the
Well, Ron and I
A-frame.
hosted a retreat, a health and wellness retreat here in Newport Beach last year, and it was really incredible. And I said to Ron, wouldn't that be great to have the retreat up in Lake Arrowhead just because you're in that like great environment and, have it be 2 days because ours was just a 1 day. But oh gosh, we did a sound bath. I mean, that big deck would be so good for something like that, like a yoga class or meditation or sound bath or something. So,
We've done yoga classes, stretch classes out there. So I posted those before. Did a little bit of a sound bath. We've done our own stretching. I have at the house, there's yoga mats for people.
oh wow, I did not see those. 'Cause
Grab a yoga mat.
busy, not working out.
I get we were not working out. That's true.
Oh no, we did. We all went hiking. We went to the Arboretum. Ron and I went to the Arboretum. Some of us went on the boat, which we had done before, and then others went to Santa's Village, which is like you must, right? You have to go to Santa's Village.
And that's a day you can't be on your diet because you have to have some of their yummy cupcakes and the fun sweets and the hot chocolate, plus the barbecue there. And there's a new speakeasy restaurant there. Oh my goodness. So
Really?
yes.
How fun. We love speakeasies.
Yeah.
Inside the village, you have to actually buy a ticket to the Santa's Village.
You can just make a reservation for the restaurant.
Oh,
And it's beautifully done. And
really?
so, yeah. And it's
Oh.
really, really fun. And the cocktails are wonderful.
Oh, how fun. I would have planned that if I knew. We went to the village one night. Oh, and then we ate, we cooked. I was going to tell you, Deanna, and I don't know if any of your guests have suggested this. Not that you don't have enough on your plate, but like if you created like an Amazon store or a list of the products that are in the house, I'm sure a lot of guests would, love to know where'd you get that blanket? Because I was like obsessed with all your dishware and really everything. But that would be kind of neat to have on your website too, just resources of like, hey, did you want to shop the things that we have?
I love it. And guess what? That's in the works. So
Grapevine.
we'll have an
Yeah, for
Amazon storefront. Yep. So the things you see, especially I get asked repeatedly. Another one is, where did you get the linens and where did you get the beds? And
Yeah,
so
the beds are very comfortable.
they're so comfortable. This particular manufacturer does not make beds anymore, and their store is not in a business, sadly, so now I'm trying to find the next best bed. The linens are actually Amazon.
Oh, see?
Because I really feel like every bed should have linen itself. There's health qualities with linen.
Yes, just speaking our language. And fabrics have frequencies. Yeah. So like linen, when they measure the frequencies of fabric, polyester, which is plastic basically, and petroleum derived, and these satin and these really low quality materials, they have such a low frequency. Whereas like the natural materials like hemp and organic cotton and linen, they're very high frequency. So that's why you feel good when you're around these natural. And everything's going to plastic, like the clothes. I mean, everything's polyester and so it matters.
That naturally thermal regulating is so important, particularly in the mountains, because in the summer it's warm and in the winter it's cold. And so it keeps the sleepers cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter. So they improve sleep quality. So I hear got the best night's sleep there. And then, of course, linen is like naturally hyperallergenic. So it's really good because you never know who's allergic. I had one gal who comes every year with her daughters and her daughter's college friends. They're actually allergic to feathers. And so we have hypoallergenic, obviously, with linen, but we'll switch out and take the feathers off the bed.
Oh, see, that's a great tip for listeners if you're considering booking a stay and you've got that. I mean, not too many hosts would do that. So that's really incredible. Well, you're a super host, Deanna. You're a super
and designer, right?
He's a super. Well, no, that's what it's called on Airbnb. Super.
Oh,
You
I
got
see.
a 5-star, all 5 stars.
Right.
Oh, wow. This is so interesting and so inspiring. And thank you for creating so much beauty in the world and using your gifts to make the world a better place and to create these memories for everyone who stays there. It's really just kudos to you for that. We appreciate you being with us today. And as I said, guys, what I love most about Trinity Home LA is the attention to detail. Deanna really cares that you thoroughly enjoy your stay, and she's thought of everything to make it convenient and relaxing. The designer in me appreciates how cozy and high-end everything was, from the blankets to the throws to the dishware to every detail.
Absolutely. And to learn more about the Trinity Homes and book your stay, visit trinityhomela.com. And as always, you can find the links in the show notes at healthyhomehacks.com. We appreciate you. Be sure to leave a rating. 5 stars are always appreciated. And if you're not subscribed, now is a great time. Thank you, Deanna.
Thank you,
Bravo.
Deanna.
Thank you, Trinity Homes. Yay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
This episode of the Healthy Home Hacks podcast has ended, but be sure to subscribe for more healthy living strategies and tactics to help you create the healthy home you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best content. See you on the next episode.